Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here for Wednesday, October 7th. We're getting today's play of the day. Quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up picking up a win with the Houston Astros. The money line was available on DraftKings at minus 103. Simply put, Oakland just seems like they are not ready for the situation. And at the Astros, once again, performed really well at the plate. Valdez definitely outpitched Manaea in that appearance. And Valdez really turning into a solid starter. And I'm not surprised that Oakland once again looked flat and Houston was able to win by 3 runs. Plus, we ended up winning a future video that we gave out back in July in the WNBA. We ended up having 1.5 units on the Storm to win the NBA Finals at 12-1 on Fox Bet, and we ended up having 1 unit on the Mercury to win the Finals at 12-1. Mercury lost, Storm won. So for that reason, we ended up making 17 units of profit on the WNBA. So overall, great day. We're going to be looking for another great day here on Wednesday. Now, looking at today's betting card, of course, you have the baseball matchups. Other than that, really nothing else to talk about. Basketball has a day off. Of course, WNBA now ended, hockey ended, etc. You have college football on Thursday, NFL on Thursday, but overall, really not much to talk about. So we're going to be doing a look-ahead line here on the NFL. We're going to be looking at a money line parlay that we have done well in the past. We haven't lost any of these. We had one that was reduced to a 1 pick as we ended up having the Eagles tie in that one game against the Bengals. We're going to be looking for a winner here. And the first pick in the 2-pick money line parlay, this 2 pick's going to pay out at minus 115 on Fox Bet, a time recording of 3:26 a.m. Eastern Time. First play is going to be on the Arizona Cardinals money line, which is available at minus 300 against the Jets. Now, I know the Cardinals have been struggling lately. They're currently 7-point favorites, and you might be wondering why would I want to go with Arizona, a West Coast team traveling East Coast, to take on the Jets. And besides the fact that the Jets are arguably the worst team in the entire league and the fact that Adam Gase is still the head coach, even though he should have been fired already, one thing that people have not noticed because the Jets are so bad is the fact that the Jets have a little bit of a QB issue going on right now. Now, Sam Darnold might not be the best quarterback in the league by any means, but he actually looked pretty good on Thursday night. And now Darnold, according to recent reports, is most likely not going to be playing in this game against the Cardinals because he's currently dealing with a shoulder injury, and the Jets seem to be trying to play it safe instead of forcing him to play in a relatively meaningless game since the team is 0-4 and basically has no shot at making the playoffs. So with that being said, that means one thing and one thing only. It is the return of Joe Flacco. Now, Joe Flacco, of course, has not been a starter since he made those comments about Fangio last year, and he ended up getting cut and then put on IR because of a quote-unquote neck injury. But at the end of the day, I don't think Flacco's a starting quarterback, at least a caliber anymore. I think all of you can agree with that, that Darnold is clearly better at this stage in their respective careers. So the Jets have no offensive line. They have pretty limited weapons. I know Crowder's pretty good. Their defense is atrocious. And in addition to all of that, now they somehow get more immobile at the starting quarterback position as Darnold has the ability to actually run and create some extra seconds in the pocket. Flacco does not. So I think that with that offensive line and how awful it is and the lack of weapons, I think Flacco is going to struggle a lot. I do think the Jets defense will struggle containing DeAndre Hopkins and all the other weapons that Arizona has. And I think Arizona should win this game pretty easily. Wouldn't surprise me if the game is a little bit closer maybe because Arizona comes out a bit flat. But Arizona, in a very tough division, has struggled over the last 2 weeks. They need a bounce-back spot, and a matchup against the Jets with a backup quarterback is definitely a good starting spot to go with. So the first pick in this 2-pick parlay is going to be on the Cardinals -7, which is available at minus 300 on Fox Bet. I'm taking it now because I feel like once Darnold's officially announced out for this game, I do think that Darnold might be worth a point or two. As crazy as that sounds, I think all of you can agree that Darnold is clearly better than Joe Flacco at this stage in their careers. And I expect if Flacco does get named the starter, I think this line should probably move from -7 to maybe -8.5, -9. So for that reason, I'm taking the money line now. And the second play is going to be a bit of a dicey one here on the money line. And it's going to be backing an 0-4 team, which sounds pretty dangerous, but I think that there's a good reason for it. It's going to be the Houston Texans at home, and I'm going to take them on the money line at -250 on Fox Bet. A couple reasons why I like the Texans. First of all, I simply think that they're the more talented team. Jacksonville had the huge upset win in Week 1 against Indianapolis, and then they reverted back to how awful they were supposed to be before the season started. I gave out a futures video on a win total on their under because I thought they'd be the worst team in the league. They might not be the worst team, but based on paper, this team stinks, and there's really no other way to put it. Anytime you struggle against Cincinnati's offense, I know Joe Burrow's good, but they have one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and Joe Mixon just ran the ball down their throats. They gave up 33 points against the Bengals, 31 points against the Dolphins, 33 points against the Titans. This team can't stop anybody, and I know that Houston's defense is technically worse, but if you look at their strength of schedule, it definitely has been a lot harder than Jacksonville's because Jacksonville had to go up against Cincinnati and Miami the last 2 weeks. Texans have to go against Minnesota, who, even though Minnesota's not good, their offense is still pretty good. It's just their defense that struggles. And they have to go up against Pittsburgh on the road, Baltimore at home, and Kansas City on the road. Not many teams will start the season with a win in the first 3 games there. They probably should have beaten Minnesota based on paper, but overall, I think they're the better overall team. Second of all, the main reason, Bill O'Brien is finally gone. The Texans finally decided to move on, which means Romeo Crennel is now the new head coach. Even though Romeo Crennel has never been a successful NFL head coach, I do believe that the firing of Bill O'Brien will provide a bit of a spark for the Texans because of the fact that Bill O'Brien was just so universally hated by pretty much everybody. And the fact that they kept trading away star players for scraps for the most part, even though they can't get those players back, I do think it's a good sign moving forward. The Texans finally made a move instead of prolonging the slow but painful death of keeping Bill O'Brien back. So I do think the Texans, for at least one game at home, should be able to circle the wagons a little bit, get the job done, and beat a Jaguars team that is reeling, as they have lost 3 straight and each of their last 2 games by at least 8 points to 2 opponents with a combined 2 wins. So really just not a great team at all. Jacksonville, I think, is going to finish probably around 3-13, 4-12. This team just isn't very good. I do think that Chark is a solid receiver, and I do like James Robinson, which is important because the Texans are the worst rush defense in the league. But at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson against the Jaguars pass rush, which is one of the worst pass rushers in the league, I think he's going to tear them to pieces. And I think Watson should have a huge afternoon, and I think that he should be able to throw several touchdowns en route to a win. So the 2-pick parlay once again here on the money line for the NFL is going to be on the Texans money line at -250 on Fox Bet, along with the Cardinals money line at -300 on Fox Bet. And those 2 parlay out to -115 on Fox Bet. The time of recording of 3:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's been the installment of Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and respect the best today. Bye, everyone.